When we start talking about driver change and the things happen internally in this garage area, just think back. You're looking at Jeff Gordon's car right now. He was being brought along by Ford Motor Company to drive a Winston Cup car. Guess what? He went to Chevrolet. Ford was really upset.
Well, Mike, we're standing by the DuPont Chevrolet driven by rookie phenom Jeff Gordon. And, you know, it's not unusual for a young kid to take a fast car out on a ride for a Sunday afternoon. This guy does it regularly, and he does it well. You've been running awfully well lately, Jeff. I know you got to be looking for that first win. Could it come today?
Well, I hope so. We got a lot of folks from DuPont up here, and the car is just driving beautiful. It's probably one of the best cars I've had. This crew is doing a good job, so we're just going to see how it goes. I think today might be the day.
Okay, best of luck to you. Of course, Jeff, along with everybody else here today, was led to the checkered flag at last week's race by the same man who will lead them to the green flag today, as Mike Joey reports.
Jeff Gordon, fourth time this year, he started third.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to give the command that will send the field on its way, the Splitfire Spark Plug 500, presented by Pep Boys. Here is the founder and vice president for auto racing of Dover Downs, Mr. Melvin Joseph. Gentlemen, start your engine.
And with that, 37 cars come to life here at Dover Downs as you look down through the rest of the starting grid. Buddy also will be riding with Jeff Gordon, leading rookie on the tour in the DuPont Finishes Chevrolet from the Rick Hendrick Racing Team. And there's a look at Jeff at work from the right windowsill over near the windshield post. And we've got a roof cam on Jeff's car, but it's looking out the back, and that's the view he hopes he has of the competition today. And also the standard race cam is mounted midpoint in the roll cage, just over Jeff's right shoulder. And you see him following the pole sitter, Rusty Wallace. 500 of the toughest miles anywhere in auto racing are set to begin. Chevy versus Ford on the front row. Harry Gant drops down low right there mid-pack at about the sixth row. Earnhardt behind him gets a good move. And the front three are single file coming off the corner. Rick Wilson up high really shook the car coming off of turn two. And a crash in the back straightaway. Darrell Waltrip goes spinning, sliding. One car dives to the apron to miss him. And Dave Marcus is in the wall along with Bob Shack. Started oil forward, showing them to hold it down. And now green flag waves and Rusty Wallace brings them up through the gearbox and back down to turn one. From Jeff Gordon's car in third place.
There's that area they talk about, the dust on the back straightaway. That's where you come across. It'll take a lap or two to get that out of the way.
Up ahead, Rusty Wallace, Ernie Irvin in the Haviland car. Gordon is third, and right in his mirror, Jeff Bodine.
I talked to the crew chief the other day about Jeff Gordon, how well he liked the car up here, and he said I had to leave the front office and go back in there and set that car up myself again. The crew chief did, and he said he really likes the car. In fact, like when they were running for Davis.
Of when Darrell Waltrip had his incident.
Boy, there's Jeff Gordon right up on the inside. Ernie Irvin. Irvin slid up about a half a lane. Gordon drove it right down in there beside him.
And from Jeff Gordon's car, you see him complete the pass and move up into second. Be able to clear it off. See if we can get a word here with Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Chevrolet. Buddy?
Jeff, this is Buddy Baker at TNN. Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy. How you doing, bud?
Doing well, man. You're flying. It looks like you're really hooked up.
Well, we're only 15 laps into this race right now, so we'll just have to see. It's a long, long day, but I tell you, this DuPont Chevrolet has been running good this weekend, and it's running really good right now. We're just, just trying to get up here and get in a rhythm, get in a pace. I'm not really looking to just take off or anything. I just want to be there at the end. Well,
we wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Jeff Gordon currently running in the second position. Calls on our 800 number. Again, it's toll-free, and if you have questions, particularly about this race, but other questions about Winston Cup racing, if we have time, we'll try to get to them. Otherwise, pass them along to some of our sister shows on TNN. Toll-free number 800-451-7331. That's the top 25. Ahead of Terry Labonte, Wally Dallenbach, Jeff Purvis, Bobby Hillen, and Dick Trickle in 30th.
Gordon cleaning these tires off for this restart. Get all the junk off of them. It's fixing to take a pretty good run down in turn one.
Maybe now we can get this race started. Lap 20 coming up here.
notice he's got his hand on the shifting lever? There's two reasons for that. He's, of course, going to change the gear right away, but you want to make sure it don't jump out of gear when you accelerate.
Rusty got a good pull on the field that time.
Yeah, I was going to say, when we talk about accelerate, Rusty Wallace car really takes off on all these restarts.
There's nobody in this race that wants to win any more than Jeff Bodine, because this car is not on winner circle for next year, and he feels that he can win a couple of races before the end of the season.
And I think Ford Motor Company's betting just that too. Help them win that manufacturer's championship. We'll put him over from the Bud Moore car into the team that he has purchased.
You see Jeff Gordon's running this car back down of Rusty's. I tell you, he's strong. He says he's just riding, but he's doing a pretty good job of riding, don't you think, Neil?
Yeah, he's just riding at a high rate of speed. You know, anytime you say I'm just going to take it easy, but if you get the least little bit of sniff that guy in front of you is falling off the pace or something, it's just as well to ride out front if you can do that.
The speeds here have really climbed in recent years. When Jeff Gordon gets down to the end of the straightaway, he'll be traveling about 170 miles per hour on a 1-mile racetrack. And then down in the middle of the corner, just before he gets back on the gas, he's slowed down to about 135.
I'll tell you what, you're asking a lot of these engines to pull that torque down, pull them down low RPM, zing them up off the corner like they do. And that's one reason this racetrack heats these engines up. I'll tell you, Gordon's car really makes a good move right in the middle. It seems like Rusty jumps off the corner.
26 laps complete. You're watching the two leaders, Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon.
Never saw Gordon close up right in the center of the corner.
Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, I'm standing by with Phil Parsons. He walked out of the infield care center, and Phil, that was an awfully hard hit. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, Glenn. I got up beside the 55 car driving down in the corner, and I don't know if he thought he needed to block me this early in the race. He was holding me up. We had an awfully good car here today, and best car we've had in months, and he took us out. I don't know exactly why. It's a little bit early to be blocking, but he took us out.
Well, we're glad to see you're okay. Better luck next time.
Thanks.
That
hey,
smoke.
I'd just like to say hello to Marshall and Kinsley back home. I'm all right. Be home tonight. Thanks.
That smoke you saw a moment ago in turn one, Bob Shack slid up, banged the wall, went back down to the infield, and the car, I believe, came to rest at the inside of turn two.
There's a lot of that car missing, one part I saw.
There he is limping around into the pit lane at turn four and behind the wall.
Boy, Jeff Gordon's trying every straightaway to get by Rusty. I believe he's got a little advantage in the center of the corner. The car seems to turn a little bit better than Rusty right at this point in the race, and he's trying every way in the world to get by.
But he's just riding. I know.
Yeah, right.
It's just racing. That's what it's named. The game is racing. Very little riding goes on.
And one reason why, there is Ernie Irvan moving in. The front two cars have broken away a bit on this restart, but Irvan is catching back in. There's the interval. Back as far as fifth place. As it's closing back up.
There's Mr. Earnhardt. He's moving in to join the battle.
And a long gap back to sixth place Harry Gant from there.
There's been the least bit of concern about tires. Everybody's concerned. If you remember the last race, Earnhardt was the guy that kept wearing the right fronts and busting down a couple of right fronts. So I would say he's probably the gauge. If they've got a tire problem, either that he's going to be careful to see what happens, but there's a little bit of concern about it.
Up front, lapping by the Hurley limo Ford of Jimmy Means.
And the lead is really tightened up with that one little bit of traffic right there.
There's your front five. Wallace, you're riding with Gordon. Then it's Irvan, Jeff Bodine, and Earnhardt.
I tell you that, just like we were talking about before, that car Gordon closed up right in the center.
Let's go back up front. 37 laps complete. Jeff Gordon doing a me and my shadow routine with Rusty Wallace.
I tell you, these two cars are just about evenly matched, just in the center of the corner. You see him close up a little bit. Now Rusty will pull a little bit right along here, so they're pretty evenly matched. Still taking error.
Let's get word from the Rusty Wallace pits. Here's Randy.
Well, as good as he's running right now, guys, he came over the radio and said the car is a little bit tight. Now, what these crews don't want to do down here right now is go ahead and over-exaggerate this tightness this early in the race. You're only 38 laps on these set of tires. and that could very well loosen up for him. So he's complaining it's a little bit tight right now. I've seen a lot of guys up and down messing with this air pressure already. We're just going to have to see what these tires look like when they take them off. But the driver's got the, he's got the last say in it. So if he feels tight, he might make him change a few things.
This seems to be one track where you chase the setup of the race car all day to keep the car up front.
I tell you what, Mike, there's been occasions here you could be leading the race, and if you're not liberal enough to go ahead and change it, even though you're leading, you might have the best car. You better be willing to change it all day because the track's going to change. The leaders will have to be willing to make changes all day, or the other guys behind you make those changes pass right on by you.
Front five continuing tight formation here. Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Ernie Irvan, Jeff Bodine, and Dale Earnhardt. The leaders were getting into traffic, and Buddy Baker, watching from the in-car camera, Jeff Gordon just grabbed the gear and downshifted for him. I mean, things got stacked up there pretty quick for a minute. There you see that pack of traffic. The leaders are running in. That's Bobby Hillen just ahead, the Heilig Myers Ford of Judy Donlevy.
We've got a new fourth-place car, too. Earnhardt just moved into fourth.
There he is, having passed Jeff Bodine in the Family Channel Ford number 7. Moving underneath Bobby Hillen's teal-colored machine.
Now, you see the slower car goes to the outside here because the preferred line is the bottom, and that's a nice move for Hillen to get out of the way on the high side of the racetrack.
Bodine moving underneath. And that kind of puts the front four right together. And we're back up front, 51 laps. Still Jeff Gordon. Bumper to butt with Rusty Wallace.
Well, Neil, we're getting close to the time they're going to start making pit stops if they're worried about the tires. Because
well, I think one thing that might have helped them, buddy, is they ran a little bit, they got the caution, they ran a little bit, they got the caution, and it enabled them to scuff those tires and put some heat in them. Every time you heat these tires up and cool them down, it's just like curing them. It hardens them and makes it even a little bit harder compound, so that probably played in their favor. Somebody's going to have to make that first move to go in and see what they look like.
Here's your Napa Field Standing Update, brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
Well, what happened here? This big gap all of a sudden.
Yeah, Rusty stretched it out here just in the last couple of laps. At the front of the pack, Wallace seems to be pulling away just a little bit. And Ernie Irvan is unable to gain on Jeff Gordon at this moment.
what happened to Jeff Gordon was they were overlapping the Keystone car of Wally Dallenbach, and he got caught on the outside in just one corner. He was on the outside. That's how far he dropped back.
And, Buddy, you know, too, if Rusty Wallace said earlier he was a little bit tight, right now is when it'll be in his favor. That tightness will leave and some looseness will come to the car and neutralize. So right now, Rusty's car is probably better than it was 15 or 20 laps ago.
We've had a couple of questions on the 800 line about tires. If they have to have 50 pounds of air, or is that the maximum, and what they actually fill the tires with. It's not just compressed air.
I tell you what, sometimes they'll use compressed air, and most of the time they use nitrogen. They'll use nitrogen simply because the heat doesn't affect the air pressure. It doesn't go up so much. But the tires can withstand. You can put 100 pounds of air pressure if you want to. They're so strong you can put 100. The trick is to find the right air pressure. You'll see them check the temperature. They want it to read the same on the inside, the outside, and in the middle of the footprint of the tire. And that pressure is what dictates how much air pressure it takes, the heat.
Rusty Wallace has led every lap of this race.
And the heat's coming back.
Yeah.
You look at Jeff Gordon, though. He's running back down. That car is sailing. For a guy that's just riding, he's doing a pretty hard job of riding.
Front five have been pretty constant here the last 40 laps or so.
The first thing you got to learn about race car drivers, they don't tell you the truth, and little young ones are worse. They'll lie to you even more.
I hate to tell you all this, but we're getting a report that they're seeing a little bit of smoke off the car, too.
I saw that just once or twice, just a little wisp of it.
Maybe it's just a fender or something barely touching the tire. That really is not a problem. That's what we hope.
I just hope it's not, something tire-wise. We hope we just have to play this out and see what happens. But if he was complaining a little bit of push, he might be smoking that right front some. I've ran this thing before, and I know you have to, buddy. It smells like a tire plant coming off that right front, all that rubber boiling all day long.
So everybody on the lead lap is in, and that's almost everybody. 28 cars are on the lead lap right now.
Boy, everybody went to school yesterday on have to have 4 tires every time you have a caution, because that won the race for Todd Bodine yesterday.
Our director, Gary Clem's going to give you a new view of pit road. Here are the 3 leaders in their pits. Remember, Rusty, as the leader, got to his pit first. He's pitted right near victory lane. And on the right side of your screen, you'll see how they line up as they come down pit lane. And it'll be Wallace ahead of Irvin. Irvin picks up a spot on Jeff Gordon. Then Gordon finally clears the lap car of Wally Donovac in the back straightaway.
Wow, did you see Earnhardt then? He got in the side of the Keystone car there and just shot right straight up the racetrack. He was real lucky to catch that car.
It's hard to realize watching this on TV just how close these cars are to the edge of control until something like that happens. And suddenly, you're out of control. And Earnhardt lost it and caught it all in the blink of an eye.
I shouldn't say that was lucky. He's good. You see him do that a lot.
Here we are looking at the back of Jeff Gordon's car. After Earnhardt got around him, it looked like he's trying to catch Gordon. Gordon's car had a lot of speed early in the race.
You know, the trunk lid of that car is the only piece on it that's painted all one color.
Yeah, the guy that paints that car earns his money.
Yes. And often.
And often.
What people don't realize, they'll run one of these races. If you get out of this race without a scratch, they still have to take them back and virtually totally redo the cars, paint them and everything, because they got to look like a showpiece at every race.
That's right.
Yep. In that last shot, you can see Jeff Gordon and Earnhardt moving up in here. They're fighting it out right now just behind the leaders.
Blake Speed made a pit stop under green in the Buckmore Motorcraft Ford. So he'll go down a lap as Earnhardt pulls up on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon. Third place. There's the interval. First and second, back to third and fourth.
Here comes Earnhardt.
He was able to get around Gordon, really where it seems like Gordon's strong. He's right in the center of the corner. Earnhardt's car's working well on the bottom.
I tell you, when you get the nose under somebody, it's over with. You go right on by.
And look who else is coming into the picture, Mark Martin.
Yeah, Mark's moved right into this thing.
He wasn't kidding when he said he's going to just ease his way on up front.
Well, when you're sitting in that car, you know how good it is. If you got one that's mediocre, you can pretty well run it to death all day long. When you got a really good race car, you can pace yourself and use your head a little bit more. The guy that's working real hard, he's got one that just won't keep up, and he's running a mile over his head all the time.
Look at him gobble up Jeff Gordon.
Wow, is he getting off into the corner? That car is really strong. He's right on that white line. You see him come out here. The car is really smooth. That's where you lose. If you're loose or anything, you'll see the car twitch around there.
Buddy, we just got a call from the pits. They said this set of tires is a little bit tighter than the other set that's hurting him in the middle of the corner. So he must have lost some speed there. And Schrader really runs a lot of races, and I don't think it hurts him to get off that different stuff. I think the determining factors, they get so much invested in these drivers in a Winston Cup team, they just don't want to risk them out there somewhere else.
Look at Mark Martin pull up on coming out of the corner there. You talk about a car that's sailing.
We speculate a little at Richmond. Just what are they doing with that team that has made them so tough these last 5 or 6 weeks? Somebody who purports to know says, well, they're better on rougher tracks. The rougher, bumpier tracks, it is something in that makes them a tick better.
Well, they've been together for a while now, and I think Steve Neal knows a lot about what he likes in the car, and you get to see the car. It works so well.
Third place going to change hands right here. And did. Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin got underneath Dale Earnhardt. They are 2 seconds behind the leader right now. And the fans come to their feet. For Earnhardt or for anybody but Earnhardt. If he moves up a spot or back a spot, everybody stands up.
You can't tell if he's doing good or bad because he'll get up any way he does.
We restarted lap 104, and the question now is, will we see pit stops at lap 154 if we stay green?
These drivers are good enough. They can feel if they're skating that right front tire. If they run it too hard in the corner and slips the wheel a little bit, well, they're going to probably run their car as good as it feels when it's stuck totally and not slip the tire. See him waving his hand right there. Clear the lap car. Got around the 21 car. You think him from letting him by without holding him up a lot.
How hard can you run it for how long? We'll find out here at Dover Downs. 109 laps complete. There's the top 5 back through Jeff Bodine. The rest of your top 10 will be back to Dover after this. Jeff Gordon in third. Jeff Bodine, Jimmy Spencer. Then Ricky Rudd in sixth. Front three are tightening up. Jeff Gordon moving back up on the leaders.
Jeff Gordon's working his way right back in there.
You're riding with him.
See, there he is easing along. That's amazing, buddy.
Look at that. Look how good that car is handling now. Look how still his hand is until right here coming out of the corner. He'll get busy up there.
Yeah, that thing, that banking goes up right in. It goes almost reverse angle. That flatness jumps off so quick that, boy, it really makes you go to work right on top of that corner. Look at here, talking about going to work. 28 cars thinking about Irvin, thinking about taking the lead a little bit.
Pit stop for Greg Sachs in the country time Ford. Back out on the racetrack.
And watch him get busy right here.
You know what it reminds me of? Cale Yarborough would go off in the corner, and he would just, his hand, the wheel would never be still. He'd always be working it somewhere.
I was just thinking to say, ain't nobody ever whipped a wheel like he did.
Then he whipped them in the right direction. I probably did.
I guarantee you was tough.
He sure did.
Before you be riding along with the caution, you see him grabbing gloves, pulling the slack out of him. He's fixing to go to work.
Yeah, when he pulled them up where he could put them under his armpits, he was in trouble.
Okay. Let's get out of the pits. Here's Glenn. Bill from Illinois wanted to know how the drivers are protected from the acid from the battery motors that are right behind them in the car for weight distribution.
That thing is concealed. The access to it is through the left rear wheel opening. You can't even get through it to it from the inside of the race car. It's sealed off totally. The only access is through that wheel opening.
All right, NASCAR's first priority is protecting the drivers. You can build more race cars. Richard Childress told us on pit lane at Talladega after you had your wreck. He says, as long as Neil's okay, we can build another car.
You also have a rubber casing that sits down in, so there's a lot of protection for the battery there.
First, second, third, Wallace, Irvin, Gordon, 142 laps have been completed.
Looks like Gordon gets pretty aggressive here.
That Evernham's telling him, you're in a good spot. Sit there. Don't get too aggressive.
Okay. You're watching from Jeff Gordon's car, and you don't see Ernie Irvin because he just went by, gave him a wave, clean pass, and now Jeff's back up in second place behind Rusty Wallace.
Yeah, that's just a gesture. People talk all day long. What do the drivers do? How do they use the hand signals? I think Irvin pretty well saw he got the heat from Gordon. He let him on by, and Jeff kind of thanked him. But, boy, now Jeff is running his car pretty hard here, buddy.
Yeah, he is running hard.
Let's show you what happened as we were coming back from break here.
Looks like Ernie pushed just a little bit right there. He's coming back in the low part. They're coming off the corner. Might have loosened him up just a little bit there. He's driving right up beside him, and they're not going to contest him going in the corner once you get on that inside.
You know, too, it looked like Jeff Gordon went into that corner up high, and then as road racers would say, late apex the corner, shot down low to come out on the bottom.
Oh, is that what you guys say?
It's what I learned at Buck Baker Driving School, right?
We don't teach late apex, I can tell you that.
That's for sure.
Looks like Gordon's saying, hey, the heck with this tire, questionable stuff going on. I'm going to see if I can take the lead.
Kenny Wallace just ahead, the Dirt Devil.
Gordon is going to be this aggressive. Is Rusty going to, fight him really hard or kind of give him his range and let him go right here?
Boy, did you hear how nice and easy he got back on the throttle when he got in the corner there? Smooth. That's something that's hard to teach. A lot of people just want to just jump right back in it. And that really abuses the tire when you slam it back to the floor.
Here he goes. We saw Gordon's car in the middle of the corner be strong. There he goes, closing it up again. And earlier we saw Rusty be able to jump up off that corner and snatch away from him, but Gordon stayed with him this time.
He must be showing beautiful wear on that tire because he's running awfully hard getting in the corner.
He's either showing beautiful wear or throwing caution to the wind.
Wally Dolleback in the Keystone Ford of Jack Roush moves aside as the leaders come past. 154 laps complete. Ernie Irvin back in third. Jimmy Spencer fourth. Jeff Bodine fifth. We'll take you all the way back through the field here.
You see how fast Jeff Gordon run back up on Rusty in that one corner? He's right back up on the back of the bumper. He was 10 car lengths back. He's really driving hard in the corner.
Bill Elliott, last car on the lead lap, just ahead of the leaders. He is in 23rd position.
We don't want to let leaders get away either. They were concerned, you know, with tire problems some people have been having. We haven't had any ourselves, but, you know, there's a few things that are in the back of our minds. But the car's working pretty good. We have to make a few more adjustments before the end of the race, but I think we'll be okay. My choice.
Thanks, Jimmy Make, our crew chief, for Dale Jarrett, currently the 6th place car. Almost had a lead change there.
Yeah, he got all the way up beside him, but Rusty pulled, you know, he had the preferred line. He pulled right back down on him. He couldn't make the pass.
We'll look on the bottom again, and then Wallace comes right back down to the white line.
Rusty's doing that late apex you were talking about. Rusty gets the car around, really cuts the car down right up off the corner. Looks like Gordon makes a run in the center corner at him.
Yeah.
This is about as close a run as he had and getting down to the corner. Let's see if he can do anything with it.
Traffic ahead.
He's going to pass. It's going to have to go on that flat part. Rusty's car is working good right on the inside also.
We talked about Cale Yarborough. That's his car just ahead of the race leader. Derek Cope aboard the Bojangles Ford.
Yeah,
now the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, just a few seconds ago they overlapped Bill Elliott. So he's the lap down now.
22nd place car of Derek Cope. Here goes Gordon. He's got the opening. He's got the lead.
Did you see Rusty just back off and let him go?
Yeah, use that lap traffic. Rusty was going to go around the lap traffic. Gordon followed it, and once Rusty saw him there, he opened the door and let him on through.
11th race that the rookie has led this year.
He said top of the show that this might be his day. He said, show me in the garage, it's the best car he's had all year long.
About running through a set of tires and into the wall. Let's go to Glenn.
We can't jeopardize these drivers, even if it's questionable. Is there a problem?
You know, again, a lot said about the competition, a lot said about the quality of the entertainment and the show, but give these folks credit that run this sport. Their first concern is the safety of the drivers.
Amen.
Keystone Light pit clock is in for Jeff Gordon, Ray Evernham, and Rick Hendrick team. Going to put 4 tires on and around in the right rear.
Hey, that might have been going his way. If he needed bike, he had a loose condition. So that's one reason why hurt his tires so much in running cars.
Ah, what a good stop, too. Out first.
17.7 seconds and first out.
1 to go. We're going to let you go back to work. Thank you.
Thank you.
1 to go, and we'll go racing here. One viewer called and asked us to update Stanley Smith, the Alabama driver who crashed hard at Talladega. Went to the hospital, was temporarily paralyzed, but now he is recuperating. He's in the same facility in Birmingham that did such a great job for Bobby Allison. There is no more paralysis, but he's going to be undergoing therapy for quite some time. And according to a story in one of the racing papers this week, hopes to return to the sport as a car owner and will continue to be involved.
Boy, that's good news. I tell you what, he's a fine guy.
Jay Stanley, his whole family was involved with his racing team. It's great to see him be able to get over this injury. For a while there, it really looked bad.
You know, Mike, I noticed that Jeff's got a little ding on the left front corner of that car, and it's right where the oil cooler hole is. So, but it don't look like there's any obstruction to the air to keep it from going through there.
Looks like he shoved a tire out of the way or something on that air dam. It's hard to tell the way it's bent.
We'll get a restart this time. Morgan Shepherd is 1 lap down in 22nd position, right alongside Jeff Gordon. Pace car, Elmo Langley, former race driver himself, now drives the pace car for NASCAR. Stretches out the field and brings his Trans Am to pit road. Chevy, Pontiac, Ford, the front 3. Here they come.
Well, Ford just told us that when his tires were brand new, he couldn't go like he wanted to. We'll see if he can hold Rusty Wallace off here.
On most of the restarts, Rusty got a good jump, and it would take Jeff 10 or 12 laps to gather him back up.
And here we see Rusty right up on him.
You know, I really like the race that the 28 car is running right now. I tell you, it's just what it's going to take. He's just sitting here biding his time in 3rd place. Ernie Irvin is a very aggressive driver. I'm sure he could run faster if he wanted to.
Okay, who else, buddy, whose fortunes I like at this point is Ricky Rudd. He is not a driver apt to much abuse the car. He's running 5th. Change of lead. Put Wallace right back in front.
Maybe Gordon told us just the way things go. If it plays out like he said, 8 or 10 or maybe 12 laps from now, maybe Gordon can work on Rusty again. But he said it took him a while for his car to come around.
Ernie Irvin in 3rd has dispensed with lap traffic. Now 2. Ricky Rudd has got by the lap cars. He's up to 4th. Dale Jarrett is now 5th. 2 leaders. Back up front. Jeff Gordon all over Rusty Wallace now.
Yeah, his car is coming back in again. I think he, you know, a real good race car normally does not run well on restarts because the car that's a little bit looser will take off and leave you when you have fresh tires on.
There we go.
He goes.
You know, just like he called it. You know, he said it won't go on the starts, but it's good after a run few laps.
Boy, look at this crowd. You think he don't have some fans already?
Got a pretty good feel for what his car does. You got to have a feel for chassis. He's got a pretty good feel for what his car's capable of doing. He called this pretty well, exactly the way it played out.
And he took off.
Yeah.
He didn't just take the lead, he took off.
There's the old Tomahawk.
Yeah, every time he takes the lead, the Tomahawk comes out. They got her in the air now. And he's got it in the wind.
We joked at the Daytona 500, they put that up there because in case he goofs up, they can drop it on his head when he comes in the pits and wake him up. But
you know what's
that's
phenomenal?
not the case.
You know what's phenomenal about this crew? I think the oldest guy there is about 25 or 26 years old. They're a very young team, and they've got the world by the string right now.
No wonder they're playing with Tommy Hawks, a bunch of kids. Doing a man-sized job, I tell you that. They ran good all year long.
Jeff Gordon back out in front over Rusty Wallace, Ernie Irvin, Ricky Rudd, and Dale Jarrett. We'll be right back. TNN Motorsports exclusive coverage of the Splitfire Spark Plug 500 is brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. 186 laps complete. Jeff Gordon out in front. There's Jeff Gordon, and he has a lead now of 2.8 seconds on Rusty Wallace as he puts a lap on Michael Waltrip's Pennzoil Pontiac. Ernie Irvin is 3rd, Ricky Rudd 4th, and Dale Jarrett 5th. We'll be right back. But have smacked the wall with the right front. Phil Parsons, Bob Shack, Todd Bodine, Rick Wilson caught it with the left rear, and now Dick Trickle. Kyle Petty is back out after a tire change. He is 2 laps down. The leader, Jeff Gordon. Bill Elliott being put a 2nd lap behind in the Budweiser Ford.
They said they thought they had a chassis problem with something broke with Kyle Petty's car, but here he is after he changed tires. He's checking out on him.
We'll go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, one of the reasons that Rusty Wallace beat Jeff Gordon out of the pits was that his crew had to make a chassis adjustment. They put around the bite in the right rear. His car was getting a little loose. Same thing with Bobby Labonte. His was so loose, he got into the wall earlier on. No real damage, but Gordon's still looking strong.
Thanks, Glenn. Thus far, Rusty Wallace has led 146 laps of this race. Jeff Gordon has led 51 laps, and Elmo Langley has led 43 laps in the pace car.
Well, they give him money for the most, lead most laps if he does.
I wonder if he gets the 5 points.
He'll get the 5 points for sure.
See that little bit of damage to that 24 car, like you're talking about, buddy, where he like he hit a tire or something going out. That hurt it a bit.
Even new tires, you see them shaking them there. They pick up a lot of debris just rolling around there when they're not running race speed.
Let's stay with Jeff Gordon and listen to this restart. Boy, he drives in there hard before he lifts his foot off that gas. Look back from the pace car. Here's Glenn.
Well, guys, I'm standing by with what might be one of the smartest businessmen in America. This is Rick Hendrick, the owner of Jeff Gordon's car, the guy who signed that young phenomenal away from Ford Motor Company, and obviously no regrets at all.
Oh, no, it's we've been real proud of what these guys have been able to do this year, and the whole team, you know, they've worked together, and, you know, Jeff's done a heck of a job. He's going to have a real bright future, and we're real excited about having him.
Well, you've been in racing a long time. I've owned a lot of teams, but did you in your wildest dreams imagine this team being so young, Jeff being a rookie, would come together and do so well so fast?
Well, no, you know, you hope that that'll happen, but realistically, you don't come into this sport and do this well as quick. And these guys have worked hard with the other three teams, and they work together, and, you know, Ray Abraham's just done an unbelievable job, and Jeff, and they worked together before, and you know, the guys just got a lot of talent. And these guys have rallied around them, and you know, we're looking forward to a good finish here and a lot of years to come.
Well, he's certainly showing that talent today, Mike.
Dick May, once at this racetrack, drove 7 different cars in one day, and each one fell out from under him. He came within 4 laps of finishing the race.
Boy, look at you, talk about getting in the corner. Jeff Gordon is flying down in the corner now.
You know, this is the same scenario we saw earlier. Rusty able to take the lead on the restart. Gordon's car come around. We'll have to see if it happens again. Gordon's characteristics with his car has been to get better and better.
And you saw that Greg Sachs is back in the race. He been on pit road an extended stay and in the garage area. But he's back out 50 laps in arrears.
You know, I've never been to Salem, but Jeff Gordon was a tremendous talent on that racetrack, and I think it simulates pretty much Salem in this racetrack as far as the high banks and all. He won a lot of sprint car races and stuff there.
Wallace with the lead. Gordon moves around the outside of Morgan Shepherd, and Dale Earnhardt is right there in third.
I'll tell you, that car is strong. Look at Earnhardt now. He's starting to flex his muscles a little bit. Right behind him, Jimmy Spencer. Jimmy's drove the wheels off that car all day today.
And we're almost halfway.
Yeah.
They just gave us a call. We just got a call back. They said the 15 has lost the cylinder. He's in the garage, and they're working on it.
Tough debut for Lake Speed with Bud Moore's team. There's your front 3 now clear of race traffic.
They just had a call from Rusty Wallace's crew up to Jeff Gordon's and said, we've got everybody covered. We need to hook up and get away from everybody. I wonder. It's awful early in this race to make those claims.
I don't know why they made the call. They've been doing it anyway.
Except for Jeff Gordon, you're right. Those two have been the quickest cars most all afternoon. And up front, Jeff Gordon has reeled Rusty Wallace back in again.
We were talking about Mark Martin. He did not come in the pit. What he's doing is running the flat through the corner and then moving out on the straightaway and staying out of everybody's way because he can't run fast enough to stay up in the groove.
He is right now in 34th place. And if he runs the rest of the distance, we'll probably pick up 3 or 4 positions at least.
Well, if he just runs just a few more laps, he'll be up in the, pick up 1 position because 1 car fell out and ran 117 laps.
Rick Wilson.
So just a few more laps and he'll be around Rick Wilson. That'd be some points for him.
This is not a replay. They are racing again.
And if you'll hang on just a minute, things usually play out. The 24 will go around the 2 as the tire situation goes along, unless Rusty has made some adjustments on his car.
We'll see. Wallace has had a lot of success with Pontiac, but the rumor persists about him leaving Pontiac and going to Ford next season. We asked Rusty about that, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back to Dover Downs. There is the lead battle. Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon are trying to settle this one among themselves. It's a long way back to the 3rd place car of Jimmy Spencer. 5 seconds is the gap. And up front, they split Jimmy Means, and Wallace hangs on to the lead. For these two guys, this has got to be fun racing.
Oh, yeah, they're having a ball right now. Both cars are working well. 2 very competitive race car drivers. There's not money that'll pay for that.
No Pontiac has ever won this race. A lot of questions on our 800 number about Rusty Wallace and the comments about Pontiac. The car manufacturers support the teams in various ways. They provide sheet metal, they may provide loaner vehicles for the teams to use, and give other support. So each car owner makes a decision what type of car to run. Chevrolet going for Pontiac here. Put Gordon out front. Flash Gordon goes back up front.
Yeah, but just before that happened, I could see the hand signals inside of Rusty's car. He just motioned him by. I don't know what the deal was. Before the pass, all of a sudden,
There's the tomahawk.
Yeah, back up again.
They lap past Kenny Wallace in the Pontiac. But to finish that story, it appears to be just a question of negotiation between the manufacturer Pontiac and the managing partner of that team, who is Roger Penske, whether or not they'll run Pontiac next season or whether they will switch to Ford. Let's go to Randy.
Well, guys, Rusty Wallace and their crew has been talking to Jeff Gordon's crew. Rusty came on the radio and said, how many laps do I have to lead until I have that extra 5 points locked up for leading the most laps? And quite frankly, I think they miscommunicated, and Rusty got bad information or the wrong information, and he pulled over and let Jeff by, but he needs about another 30 laps to lock it up, so we might see him try to take Jeff on again here.
Here are the numbers. Rusty Wallace has led 195 laps today. Jeff Gordon has led 51. So Gordon could end up with a 5 extra bonus points. Remember, Wallace is locked in that battle with Earnhardt and Mark Martin for the Winston Cup Championship, and those 5 points could mean a lot.
Watch right here. Watch Rusty inside the car. The hand signals. He just waved him. See him waving his hand, motioning him over to the inside. Rusty just motioned him over, took to the outside, and gave him that inside lane. So it must have been some miscommunications on how many laps he needed to lead, because he definitely pulled over and motioned him in. Also, you notice that pass log of the one car was smoking Rick Mast when they went around him.
If Wallace fails to lead again and Gordon leads another 150 laps, he would get the 5 bonus points. In the NASCAR point system, every driver who leads the race at least 1 lap gets 5 bonus points. The one driver who leads the most laps in the race gets 5 more bonus points.
It's like somebody said, what's 5 points? Well, 5 points is the difference of winning or losing the championship. We've seen that happen lately.
Tell you what it is. A few years ago, Dave Marcus, everybody would pit on the lead lap. Everybody would come in the pits. He would stay out under caution just so he'd lead a lap, just so he'd get those 5 points. At the end of the season, it would make 40, 50 points difference, and it might make $10,000 or $20,000 difference come the banquet when you get your point money.
Yeah, but someone like Marcus, where he needs that financial support, is really worth doing. And for these guys going for the championship, they have to do it. Well, once Gordon got around, he really stretched it out.
The longer that car runs, the better it runs, much like Todd Bodine's yesterday in the Busch Series 200 lap race. He's been right at the front most all day, as you can see. 227 laps to go here at Dover Downs. And Jeff Gordon out in front by 1.2 seconds. Here's a look at your top 10 as we go to break. We'll be back to Dover Downs after this.
We just had a call, the 24 car. They called him and told him to ease off. They told him the 2 car had already backed the pace down for him to slow down. So they're trying to get Jeff Gordon to slow down just a little bit. He's turning out a little bit quicker laps than they want him to run.
If I was Jeff Gordon, I'd be awfully careful right now.
Well, I promise Jeff Gordon was just keying that radio. He's talking those pits, and I'm sure they're telling. They've already asked him to back the pace down.
The one thing he's had in his favor all day, though, they've been putting bite in the car, but it's been a little bit loose, and you won't bust that right front down as long as you stay on the loose side.
Got to be
last rookie winner for a Winston Cup race is right here at Dover, 1987, Davey Allison. Jeff Gordon leads this with 288 laps down. Ricky Rudd has moved up to second. Kenny Schrader is third. 3 Hendrick cars in the first 3 positions.
Oh, I'm telling you, mighty good teams.
And again, we'll show you this TNN innovation so you can comparatively clock the pit stops of the race leader. The 3 Rick Hendrick cars come into the pits in first, second, and third position. And on the right side, you'll see them move down the pit lane after their service is completed. Ricky Rudd's pit is furthest up pit road toward the entrance, so he gets stopped first, then Schrader, then Gordon. Champion picks his pit first, and then you pick in order the way you qualify. That's why they're in the positions they're in. Wipe of the windshield on Rudd, finishing up the left side. Now he gets out in 23 seconds, but he's got a long way to come down pit road.
Looks like you're having trouble on Jeff Gordon's left rear there.
And he gets out just behind Dale Jarrett there.
Just behind Jimmy Spencer before he got in line.
Jeff Gordon in the DuPont finishes Chevrolet of Rick Hendrick, Ray Evernham, the crew chief, and the rookie driver trying to become the first rookie in 6 years to win a Winston Cup race. Jeff, this is TNN. It looks like these last 100 laps have been a pretty good, clean run for you.
Yeah, you know, things are going our way right now. We're just going to keep our fingers crossed and, you know, hope that the rest of the race goes this way. The biggest thing for us this whole year has been making it to the halfway point, and we've made it that far. So, car's good. I tell you, this DuPont crew is doing an awesome job in the pits. I'm real happy about the way things are going.
Jeff, what did you think when Rusty Wallace waved you to the inside and waved you by? Did you think maybe he had a problem, or do you think he was just letting you go?
Oh, you know, we talked, our spotters talked there at that last yellow, and we both agreed that if we could try to pull away from Earnhardt, and if we got out in the open and I was faster than him, that he would work with me or I'd work with him. And, you know, I was putting the pressure to him, and I was trying to get by him, and he just let me go. That's what real racing is all about. You know, you got to wait till the last 50 laps or 100 laps before you really go for it.
Okay, thanks and good luck.
Thank you.
Jeff Gordon currently running third behind Kenny Schrader and Dale Jarrett. Labonte and Bodine.
Yeah, Labonte and Bodine got together. Bodine slid up about our lane. Got turned into no man's land. Jeff Gordon watching that action right in front of him.
Now he's got to be really patient not to make a mistake coming up through this traffic. That's so easy to do when you have a dominant car to make a mental error, you know.
And here's where you see this young fella's experience. Jeff Gordon. He's going to make the moves where he can. He gets underneath Terry Labonte. Even though he's a rookie on this circuit, you're right, buddy. If he takes his time, he's not going to bust his way to the front.
Right. That car just as smooth. Look at the back of that car. It never wiggles. It's just as straight as an arrow off the corner.
That puts Jeff Gordon up into 5th place.
Look at Jeff Gordon come up through there. He's throwing that pack down now. He's fixing to get in the battle for it. Well, that'll go all the way to second when he passes that group there.
Dale Jarrett just ahead. And again, we'll split the screen 3 ways for you. The 3 leaders as they come in will be Schrader, Gordon, and now Dale Jarrett. Ricky Rudd is 4th. Ted Musgrave's up to 5th. He's had a good day. There are the leaders, and on the right side you see pit road. And Rusty Wallace will stay out. He has to because he's laps down, of course. Only the lead lap cars can pit.
I think he'll stay. He'll have to come in one of you.
Yeah, just go let him next lap again.
Dale Jarrett's away first, but he, of course, with 19.5-second pit stop, is way up pit road. We'll watch for him to come into the right side of the screen. As now Schrader pulls out. Here's Jarrett in the green car. Schrader's out, goes past Gordon and Earnhardt.
Gordon made a chassis adjustment.
Pit stop range 19.5 to 21 seconds flat among that group. Pretty close.
Wow.
But it'll be Schrader who will have the lead when we go back to green.
I don't know how these guys do that. You know, how many pit stops have they had today? And these guys are still pumping out those wonderful times like that. It looks like it wear down after a while.
Well, I'm wondering how much nitrogen they have in the bottles. If you come on pit road with just a certain amount, they're going to use it up today.
We're going to go back 1 to the 12th caution flag and show you another look at the Jeff Gordon, Jeff Bodine incident. As we saw it, and as NASCAR also saw it, their review of the incident was part of this. But first, the issue of the sun, Neil.
Mike, they're coming off this corner, and you're playing with about an inch or 2 clearance right there. Look right here where the accident occurred. Look, the sun, that's the worst place you can be on this racetrack. Right in his eyes, you can't see. Like Buddy said, the windshield wasn't clean. They got together. After reviewing this, NASCAR saw this particular tape.
they decided it wasn't intentional reason to change.
Now watch Bodine's car and the white line. That distance gets a little smaller. He does come down a little bit as Gordon goes up. NASCAR's review of this on the appeal from Ray Evernham, they decided it was a racing accident. The black flag stopped to bring Gordon in, just cool him down. That put him to the back of the field, and he wound up in this accident. Here's Glenn.
We're standing by with Jeff Gordon. He has crawled out of the car. He's talking to radio right now. We'll get a word with him here in just a moment.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Jeff, can you tell us what happened out there?
Well, you know, I just kind of got caught up in another wreck there. All I saw was the 27 car get sideways and start slipping, and whoever was behind me didn't really check up as much as I did and turned me sideways. It's a shame, man. We just had a great car today, and I just thought really today was going to be our day. Everything was going our way, and then things totally turned around.
What about when you and Jeff Bodine got together? It looked like maybe from the in-car camera, you just couldn't see him there.
Well, there is a pretty strong glare over there, but I got in the corner and he got loose. He drifted up. So he's a lap car, and I'm trying to get back up the leaders. Rusty was trying to get his lap back. I wanted to make sure Rusty didn't get his lap back. And, you know, I probably was a little bit impatient, but I mean, he drifted up. I tried to go underneath him, and we hit. And he spun. You know, I didn't want to wreck anybody, but I was just trying to get to the front.
Okay, tough luck, Jeff. Randy?